All right. So like I mentioned at the beginning, some of you heard me say that you're going to be hearing from me, Laura Lee, Chuck Hansen, and Andy Bockham. We are your cohorts that put together the service section of District 6250. So I'll do a quick introduction. Chuck and Andy will do the same, and then we'll kind of get started with our program for the night. We decided that we won't be sharing any slides. We want this to be an interactive conversation. If all you're doing is sitting and looking at a PowerPoint, that's not necessarily how we engage in good conversation or good collaboration across different clubs. So we opted to not put PowerPoints together, and instead we're going to call upon our participants to help us guide this discussion and help us ensure that we're having collaboration and that we're kind of coming together for new ideas and different ways that Rotary can make a difference in the service world. So like I mentioned, I'm Laura Lee. I'm a member of Lacrosse After Hours. I've been in Rotary since February of 2012. I have worn multiple hats within my club. However, in the last probably 5 or 6 years, my world has focused around our youth activities, which is why Mr. Bill Pritchard reached out to me last year and asked me to join the district board as the youth services chair. So I'm in my second year as the youth services chair. It's been a little bit of a weird situation without any youth exchange and some of the pandemic changes that we've had over the last year. But we are, as a youth committee between RILA, Interact, and Youth Exchange, really working to ensure that we're still keeping our youth engaged through Rotary in any way that we can. So that's kind of the role that I carry in with our youth at the district level, and I will pass it over to Chuck.
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's good to see you. My name is Chuck Hansen, and I've been in Rotary for about 42 years. And I've been engaged in various leadership roles and in club projects. But I'm really passionate about international service. And the International Service Committee, which I happen to chair this year, is designed to be kind of a consultant to clubs throughout the district. Sometimes international projects may seem intimidating to a club. Other clubs are very engaged in the district. And what we want to do is provide the resources when clubs come up with a block in the plans that they have, or they're just looking for a new project. In fact, what I'd like to do is just take a moment right now, because we really want to make sure you are all engaged and get a chance to introduce yourselves. I'd like to just go around and give us your name, the club you're from, and I'd like to know whether or not your club is currently engaged in an international project or if they might be interested in one. So can we just, I don't know if I've got names here. Let's just go around. Let's see, I see Martha, you want to start with you?
Sure, I'm Martha Plant with the Toma Rotary Club. We've helped, in the last couple of years, we've helped other clubs just in minor roles with international project, but a few years ago, we had a very large international project with Uganda building wells. So we've taken a little bit of a break, but we're starting to get back into it.
Well, so Karen, you're the next on my screen. So,
Karen, you're on mute.
I was trying to do the spacebar thing. International service happens to be my favorite too. And my Chippewa club did a really large, at the time it was the largest global grant in the district, water project in Bolivia. And we had done lots of smaller projects in Bolivia, all started because one of our members was a dentist and it did a dental clinic outside of Rotary, and he brought that back to our club. So it's been a really great, strong relationship with lots of different service.
Anne? Overly?
Yeah, actually, we haven't done an international project in a long time, and there is an interest. I know that the president-elect coming after me, that's one of his goals. So Sunbury really hasn't done anything for quite a while, but we're interested.
Okay, well, yeah, why don't you, if you in the chat section, why don't you just send me a note with your upcoming president-elect's interest? I'd love to be in contact with him, and we just have a chat about it. So if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah.
Thanks, Anne. Okay, who else? David?
Hi, I'm David Charette with the Chippewa Valley After Hours Rotary. Our club currently does not have any international things in the works. We have watched, what Chippewa Falls has done and been very intrigued by that, but we're always looking for that inspiration and that opportunity.
One thing to keep in mind, which is interesting, because when you've got other clubs in the area that are involved, and if you don't want to get involved in a full project by yourself, partnering with other clubs is a great way to go, because that's what makes Rotary really work. It's our networking and then putting things together that makes really things happen in a remarkable way. So keep in mind, if you are interested in an individual project, fine, but there may be things you might want to just join to get your feet wet. So great. Now, Jessica, you're part of Onalaska Interact. Have you ever thought about doing anything internationally? I'm just curious.
Yeah, so I'm Jessica. Like you said, I'm from Onalaska Interact. And I know in the past we've had certain students bring in ideas that they're doing for their projects that have impacted internationally. We're not working on anything international right now, but it's always a great idea because there's so much more than just our region here.
Well, Interact is a great partner, and we've already seen that in the work that's being done for the Afghan refugee effort, which we'll talk about later when you get to community service. But the power and energy you guys can bring to a project is fantastic. And very often when we're dealing with international projects, we're looking at raising money that's going to be matched by the district and then by Rotary International. So there may be a role for Interact in an international project. So thank you for that. John, what about you?
Hi, I'm John Farnan. I'm with the La Crescent Rotary Club. I'm a relatively new member to Rotary. So this is my second full year in Rotary. I feel humbled to be in the presence of people with so much experience with Rotary. To my knowledge, Chuck, our club has not, in the last couple of years, been involved in an international project. Although I just realized that I have a friend who is a native of Uganda, and I might reach out to her and see if she is aware of any needs in her home community. And I think our club would be interested in partnering with other clubs if there are actually projects that are ongoing or being launched. I think that would be a great opportunity for us.
Great. Lynn? Lynn?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I realized my club isn't up there. It's Janesville Noon Rotary. We have committed to having an inbound exchange student for next year and are hopeful, although it's a really tight time frame, to have an outbound potentially. We've gone to a high school and put that information out there. And we started with the impetus of a generous donation. By Thanksgiving, we'll have $18,000 to send to Haiti Outreach. Wow. To give them the money to build a well, which probably won't happen until 2022 based on what's going on in Haiti, but we've got the money for another water well.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
I know.
Yeah. Think of all the people that are going to be touched by that.
I know.
I mean, it's mind-boggling, you know.
I think this will be our 6th well in Haiti. And you forget that when you're on an island, water is so scarce. It's really hard. And when you, anyway, somebody else.
Okay, who haven't I been able to call on yet? Yes, go ahead. Is it
Meredith Shelton with the Fitrona Horizons Club. In previous years, the half of our group, the Fitchburg Verona half, has been involved with a community in Kenya installing a number of water cisterns as well as working with a gentleman on a reforestation project and helping him to get the native plants planted again so that rivers can come back, so that, you know, you're not losing as much erosion, and creating more ways for local folks to be able to build up the economy and provide for their own families and be able to keep kids in school. And so it's a whole kind of, you know, building on itself cycle there. So.
Fantastic. Natalie?
Just like Jessica, I'm with Unalaska Interact, and for us, we focus a lot on obviously like local things because we have high school students who can only do so much around. But as you were saying, we do bring a lot of energy. We have a lot of eager members willing to help out with a lot of things. So we would definitely be interested in doing more. I know sometimes like members have done sort of like smaller individual projects, but since I've been there, nothing like huge that we've focused on specifically, but I don't think that it has to stay that way.
Thank you. Mary?
Yeah, thanks, Chuck, and everyone. It's really wonderful to meet you guys. So I'm with the Eau Claire Club, and with the help of Karen and Michael, and also with Dwight, we have just this year started working towards a project to submit an application for a cervical cancer screening and treatment project in Ghana. And it's super exciting to be working with everyone. We're kind of at the stage of lots of things percolating and kind of waiting now for our Ghana counterparts to get back to us with some key information from the community assessment. So, but you know, it's very exciting for me personally. I'm lucky enough I work in global development from my spare bedroom here in Eau Claire. So I get to do these kinds of projects, you know, in my day job. But just as Tay was saying, you know, this is really it's a real passion project, and just wonderful to work with all of the expertise, medical and otherwise, in our club, also pulling in writers. So it's just been a wonderful experience, but we're total newbies, so we're learning. And Karen and I were just texting that we're kind of writing down names, and we'll likely be reaching out to get help, because you know it is quite an undertaking as we move forward. So just feel lucky that we can learn from all of you who have more experience in this with Rotary. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. And the members of the International Service Committee are past district governors like myself, often past foundation chairs, and the current foundation chair does also attend the meetings, as well as Rotarians like Mark Brosis and from your area, who has experience in large grant projects. And that's what we're here for. If we can help in some way, don't hesitate to call us. You can go onto the district website, look under service, and hit that tab, and you'll see youth, and you'll see a community service, and you'll see international service. And if you click on the international link, you can get our contact information. So any way we can help, Mary, we'd really like to do that.
Super, thank you.
Yeah, Sherry.
Sherry from Caledonia, and we usually partner with someone else. We just recently did Friends of Cameroon with downtown La Crosse, but I'm pretty sure we'd be interested in another project to partner with someone.
Super. Now, La Crosse has been very lucky. There's probably what 8 or 9 clubs in the area. Very often we can partner together, and that makes it work. That's standing alone, you can't always get it done. It's
not when you're small.
Better together. Yep, better together. Hey, Andy, our co-presenter, but also recently past president of the La Crosse Club. How you doing? You're on mute, Andy.
Good. You're turning it over to me now?
No, I just.
Or do you want me to talk?
Just tell you who you are and your club. You've got international project. We're just about done.
Okay. Yeah, I'm part of the downtown La Crosse Club. like Sherry said, last year we did a Cameroon project. We also recently completed the year prior a bus that went to a girls' school in Afghanistan, which brought us a lot of concern here lately with how the news has gone. So we've been very involved internationally. We're lucky to have Chuck Hansen as part of our club. He drives the ship sometimes, so it's good to have that. But yes, we're very involved.
Hi, Marissa. How are you this evening?
Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Hi, Chuck. I'm Marissa Dickinson from Rotary After Hours with Laura. So Laura, if I forget something, chime in because I'm sure I will. But when you talk about partnerships, After Hours helped with that bus project with downtown. So it is great to partner on bigger projects. We've also done water filters in Mexico and helped cervical cancer screening in Nicaragua with global partners from Gunderson. And then Laura was really instrumental in, oh my gosh, my dogs are witching hour. Was really instrumental in building classrooms in Uganda. But part of our strategic plan is to identify a new international project every 3 years. So we're in the process of surveying our members on which area of focus they're most interested in and which part of the world they're most interested in, and trying to identify our next project that way. Did I miss anything, Laura?
No, but I was just going to add in, you mentioned the strategic plan, and I think that that's just really something that's beneficial to hop on and talk about really quickly. So Chuck, I'm just going to interrupt for a second. Most of the projects that our club has done, whether it's a service project locally, internationally, or youth oriented, have come from a strategic planning effort. So bringing our club together, going back to what T had said earlier about finding your passion and making sure that what you're doing is what you want to be doing. You're not going to get a club to support an activity if it's not what the club wants to do. So bringing your groups together, having those discussions around, do we want to be more engaged in youth activities? Do we want to be more engaged in community service activities? Do we want to be more engaged on an international level? Those are the discussions that stem ideas and bring together like minds to come up with plans and to document them and to set goals at a larger level. The water project that we had in Mexico, we actually had planned to partner with the Interact clubs. We had some Interact students that were planned to go to Mexico with some of our club members and partner with us because Interact helped us fund those water projects. So even though you're doing a big international project, you can still partner with your youth activities. You can partner with your community people. Our Uganda project was in partnership with the Onalaska Church of Christ. So it doesn't even have to be necessarily a Rotary partner either. Don't shut your eyes to any sort of ideas that might help your club continue to move forward in any type of the service areas, but making sure that you've got your full club support is really, really helpful to ensuring success with whatever plan you're going to come up with. I'll step off my soapbox and let the last couple of people talk.
Thanks, Laura Lee. No, very helpful information and well taken. Dave Clements, nice to see you. Dave is one of the members of our International Service Committee, also is a head of our
Friendship Exchange.
Friendship Exchange, which often leads to an international project. Dave?
Yeah, in fact, a couple of our recent club activities came from Friendship Exchanges. We did the Chile project and another one in Latvia. Our biggest one is we did a Greek dental project where we built dental clinics on islands of Greece where refugees were being dropped off. I'm going to be heading over to Greece in 2 weeks to mix with the Rotarians and spend some time doing dentistry in those clinics. So I'm really looking forward to really participating in one of these international projects.
It's a great example, though, how international projects can come from any number of places. Maybe it's a place that you visited on vacation. Maybe it's somebody that you know from another country. Maybe it's a youth exchange that happened with your club and your club is interested in. Maybe it's something like David's talking about here, a friendship exchange that's led to international projects. There's a lot of ways it can happen. I want to send a shout out to the Oregon Club. I see that we've got several people on the screen. Thanks for joining the service section. I don't know if you can hear me, but can we hear you? Can you quickly introduce yourself, and then we can get on with the program?
Yeah, this is Andy with the Oregon Club, and unfortunately the camera is faced at our backs, so apologize for that. We've in the past been part of a couple different orphanage projects over the years, and then we also did we sent a cargo shipment of bikes to Africa a number of years ago. So, and then we're very involved in youth exchanges as soon as we can get this COVID thing wrapped up.
Fantastic. Well, it's good to see you all. Thanks for sharing and introducing yourselves. I'd like to pass the baton to my friend and partner in crime, Andy Bockham. There's something that we're all very excited about, that we might find ways to collaborate and think outside the box to really help some very important guests that are now arriving in our country from Afghanistan. Andy?
Yeah. So thanks, Chuck. I was worried you weren't going to quite get to me tonight. But we got there. And first thing is, I'm just hopeful that Dave Clements, if he's going to Greece to practice dentistry, I'm hoping he's a licensed dentist when he's doing that and not just going over there. So that was one thing that was immediately concerning to me. But anyway, my name's Andy Bockham. I'm with the Downtown Lacrosse Club, and I am the district community service chair. And this is a new position in our district here this year. So I'm looking to kind of right now build out a team to help with that and build this. And what it's going to be is, as a district, we do so many just amazing projects throughout our district. And to be able to share and inspire those projects with other clubs in our district, I think one of the greatest things that we do in Rotary is we do share our ideas and we share success. And like I was saying, when you come together and we come together as Rotarians and we talk and we share these ideas, that's where the real magic happens, is when we share those ideas. So that's very, very, very exciting. Like Chuck said, we have kind of a unique opportunity right now. Right in our backyard, we have at Fort McCoy, which is in between Sparta and Tomah, Wisconsin. We have a number of Afghan refugees who are here. And this is an opportunity for us, not only from a service level, but also, from a youth level, from an international service level, to kind of work together and collaborate to do something to make a difference in people's lives. And it's very, very real. And part of the reason I invited Jessica and Natalie to come, I wanted them to kind of tell the story about what they did at Interact and how it's impacted them and kind of made that difference. So I want to ask Jessica and Natalie if they could talk a little bit about what they did and share with us their experience.
Sure. So I'll go first talking about what we did, and then Natalie can talk about what we're going to do. So back a couple weeks ago, we came up with the idea of helping these Afghanistan refugees because, like Andy said, they're right here in our backyard at Fort McCoy. And so the first thing we could think of was just do some simple fundraising. So we advertised a miracle minute at our football game. And it was rainy and cold, but we still were able to get over $500 just from 1 minute. And then our Interact Club decided to match that. And I think it was last week, we presented a check to our district governor at our high school, and we got some news coverage, which was great. So hopefully other people will start realizing that, hey, we should do something about this too. So yeah, that's kind of what we did. It was it was crazy to see how much our community came together just in 1 minute. And so we're hoping that we can do more things to have a greater impact. And so I'll let Natalie talk about our blanket project and then our sorting donation project.
Yeah, so as Jessica was saying, with our Miracle Minute, we found a lot of success, and we do have a lot of success just with any fundraising we do in the area, I think, especially when it comes from high school students. So then after that Miracle Minute, we spoke at our first meeting of the year, of the school year, about the Afghan refugees and what we had done to raise some money for them. And one of the members actually who works at Target said, well, my work, Target is actually taking fabric, they're getting discounted fabric and making a bunch of blankets for the Afghan refugees for the winter months. So we've recently, just in the past week, kind of created an event we're holding where we're going to have a bunch of our members, a bunch of high school students come together and make those blankets. And so that will be one thing we're doing to then send directly to Fort McCoy, as well as another new project is we're sending some of our NHS, our National Honor Society members from our school, and our Rotary members to help sort some of the donations, the like clothing and stuff they've received from the community, help sort those and send them off to Fort McCoy as well. So we have a lot of, or a couple different new things we're working on right now, but the biggest thing is our very new blanket making project, which a lot of people at our school are very excited for. So.
Well, thank you, girls, for sharing. One thing I wanted to share with you girls, you did motivate the group over at Logan High School here in La Crosse. They also did a Miracle Minute at their football game, and they raised close to $400. And they said, in the spirit of competition today, they had a vote and they decided to donate just over $1,000 so they could be at the Onalaska Interact Club, which I think is absolutely wonderful, because you've inspired competition too. And sometimes that's one of the really great things that we can do as Rotarians is we compete against each other sometimes. We work together and do it right, but we compete against each other. So I want to thank you guys. One thing I didn't know before tonight is apparently you guys both have zero potential because you guys are doing it. You know, you are there. So with that, you know, I'd like to kind of, and what we wanted to do was kind of continue the conversation. We kind of have a service project that is right in our backyard. So just wanted to go around and kind of share ideas if we had any thoughts that other clubs have. You know, I don't know as far as the other members on here, if they are aware of the Interact clubs in their community, but I think doing something on a district Interact level and really competing against each other throughout the state or inspiring each other throughout the state would be a wonderful thing. So with that, I want to open it up to more conversation.
Yeah, we actually have an Interact club, and I am super excited about that Miracle Minute concept, and I'm excited to take that back to the club and share that with them, and that's a great idea.
And I should add, we at the district level, we have set up a fund at the district level where we're collecting all of those funds for the Afghan refugees. So that is something that if you do get funds, they are being collected at the district level. So we can get more information out about that as well.
Right, and that's our district foundation. And again, it's very easy to locate on our district website. But checks made out to the district foundation it's a 501(c) tax exempt organization. And it gives Rotary a chance to speak as a district, as all of us together, not just one particular person or group. And right now, what we've been told is they don't need more stuff. They've got so much stuff, they're asking for volunteers to sort the stuff. What they do need is money, because that can be targeted once the need is there. So fundraising efforts by clubs, which is a way community service can work across the district, as Andy is saying, or through the Interact clubs, where we can all work together. Fundraising efforts that can be channeled to the district fund for Afghan relief will do the most good right now.
Hey, Andy, I'm not sure if you can see the chat screen that you're on your iPhone. Lynn's wondering if we have an update from Razia. I know we've gotten a couple lately about the girls in the bus. If you have a quick update about that.
Yes, I see that now. I have spoken with Raja myself, and I haven't spoken with her for a couple of weeks, but we did get updates that the region that the school is in Afghanistan is one where it is Taliban free at the moment, or it was at the moment that I was talking to her. And then I saw a couple updates here probably last week that they were still doing well in that region, but they were making contingency plans just in case. And the region was also, that they're in, was also flooded with a lot of refugees because people knew that this region was safe. So they were also dealing with refugees, but it's my understanding that the girls are still currently going to school, and things are, well, they're chaotic, but they are
Stable.
At least safe and stable at the moment. Yeah. So
I don't know if anybody else can see the countdown in the upper right hand corner, but we do have less than 5 minutes before we're going to get automatically redirected back into the main session just to close the night out. So I know we've kind of gone through some discussions about different international projects. The Interact kids have talked about the different things that they've been doing to help out with the Afghan thing. I do also want to mention a very small project that they do that's international, local, and primarily focused on youth, that's the iFeed. And that's actually currently expanded throughout the district already. Started in La Crosse, expanded to Chippewa Valley. I'm not sure if it's made its way over into the eastern part of the district at this point, but that's a prime example of a project that brings all three service focus areas together and makes a large impact across our entire district. So I do want to give some time for any questions from anybody on specific, if there's anything specifically that you're looking to learn, looking to glean from our breakout tonight, or if you have anything that you'd like to share from your club to show how you guys are focusing on service activities. In the world that we live in, it's a little bit difficult to sometimes get something arranged with following all the necessary protocols, but Rotary as a club and as our district has done an amazing job at continuing to make a difference over the last year. So if anybody wants to stand up and brag about things that they've done or show off or share, or is looking for additional assistance or partnership from other clubs, here is your soapbox. Feel free to come off of mute and let's hear it. Let's talk about what you guys have done. And I'm going to watch for mute buttons. Go, Karen, I see you.
Or plans for Rotary Days of Environmental Service coming up August 4th.
Oh, yeah. Does everybody know what the Rotary Environmental Days of Service are?
Yeah, actually, I'm excited about our Rotary Days of Environmental Service because our club, Sun Prairie, has long had a very environmental project that's close to our heart. It's we have this wildlife area that was one of the first ever DOT wetland reclamation projects. So it's a very small area, but we've built walk bridges and viewing platforms because the local middle school goes out there and does environmental classes. So we are actually not making it within the day's service, but just the weekend after. So October 16th, we're going to work with the Girl Scouts and the Conservancy that works there and build another walk bridge path through Patrick Marsh. So we're getting out there and building a walk path through the marshy area so people can cross through it out and then in November we're going to do some prairie planting out in that area too.
Awesome. That's great. I'm sure Karen will forgive you for missing the dates just by a weekend or two.
Already done.
Perfect. Mary, I saw your chat here. I'm not certain what types of needs assessments have been done. Catholic Charities here in La Crosse is working very closely with the refugees. An organization called Team Rubicon is also working very closely with them. Andy or Chuck, do you know if there's been a needs assessment that's been performed? Or Martha?
Yeah, I can speak a little bit. The last couple of briefings that I was at concerning the refugees is basically they're focusing on the immediate needs right now because all these people left with basically the clothes on their back and everything like that. But there is, they couldn't fill me in on the timeline, but there is the expectation that they will be given some resources in order to, kind of get them relocated where they want to be relocated, and also some training and that type of thing to help them be able to find jobs and that type of thing. But it's kind of a staged process right now. They're focusing as far as things that they get besides money, basically boots, shoes, like tennis shoes, and socks is the big need. They've gotten a lot of other donations, but those are some of the things that they're that I know that they're focusing on right now.
Great. Thanks, Martha. We're down to 5 seconds, so we're probably going to get pushed back in. Thank you all for joining us, and we appreciate it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me, Chuck, or Andy. Thank you so much.
Thanks for a great session.
Thank you, everybody.